Right at the dawn of the Iraq War, an A-300 cargo plane working as a DHL delivery aircraft was struck by a surface-to-air missile just after takeoff. With a damaged left wing, an engine spilling fuel, and no hydraulic flight control, the brave men in the 3-person crew made an emergency landing using only the plane's engines and throttle control. That same day, the German courier service suspended its operations in the Middle Eastern country and began a thorough investigation. This included analyzing bone-chilling video footage of the attack. Over a decade and a half since the attack, the crew continues to astonish with their bravery, wit, and quick thinking. At 6:30 a.m. on November 22, 2003, an A-300 Airbus cargo plane, owned by European Air Transport, took off from Baghdad International Airport to do business as a DHL express vehicle. The cargo plane's crew consisted of an experienced group of 3 men, with a combined 17,000 hours of flight experience. The crewmen were Captain Eric Janot and First Officer Steve Michelson, both from Belgium, and Scottish flight engineer Mario Rafael. Because they were flying above Iraq, the crew performed a rapid climb to reduce exposure to ground attack, but their attempt was futile. Not long after takeoff, the plane was struck on its left wing by a surface-to-air missile. The severe blow to the wing resulted in a fire and complete loss of the hydraulic flight control systems. Liquid jet fuel trickled from the aircraft as its fuel tank disintegrated. With the flight controls disabled, the aircraft began to pitch up and down in a roller coaster-like oscillation. Captain Janot attempted to use thrust to modify the aircraft's speed and altitude, trying to control the plane's yawing. Meanwhile, Engineer Rafael successfully executed a gravity drop maneuver to extend the landing gear. He achieved this by deploying the aircraft's landing gear with gravity, a procedure that he amazingly performed without the hydraulic power. Thanks to the men's quick reaction to the potentially fatal accident, their moves helped reduce the plane's speed. After 10 minutes of experimentation, the crew managed to stabilize the aircraft. When the plane became stable, the men executed a right turn and began to descend, achieving an injury-free landing onto the unprepared ground. All 3 men were uninjured. Later that day, DHL's official spokeswoman, Patricia Thompson, told the AFP news agency that they would suspend all flights to Baghdad for at least 48 hours. Authorities said that they would launch an official investigation into the attack, which marked the first time a civilian plane was forced to make an emergency landing due to a surface-to-air missile in war-era Iraq. Before the attack on the DHL cargo plane happened, authorities had documented 8 previous instances of missiles being fired at civilian aircraft. Likewise, weeks before the missile struck the DHL plane, several military helicopters had been shot down with similar weapons, a propaganda coup for Iraqi groups resisting the country's US-led occupiers. Not long after the DHL announced the beginning of their investigation, Sarah Daniel, a French journalist covering the Iraq War, claimed to own a video from an unknown source that showed the attack. In the footage, which was later delivered to the AFP press agency, a group of about 10 men with their faces concealed can be seen firing a missile at the DHL aircraft. The tape shows the launch, the missile impact, and the DHL crew's maneuvers to return to the airport while the left wing was on fire. However, Daniel denied any specific knowledge of the people who carried out the attack, and the tape's authenticity could not be determined. According to CNN terrorism analyst Peter Bergen, the tape appeared to be unclear and blurry. But if authentic, footage like this demonstrates how the Iraqi guerrillas document their actions. As Bergen said, quote, "I guess the point here is obviously getting these tapes out has a very, very good propaganda value." The official investigation never delivered any concrete results. When the men returned to Europe after their incident, the crew members were welcomed and celebrated all over the continent. The British Honourable Company of Air Pilots honoured them with the prestigious Hugh Gordon Burge Memorial Award. This honour is given once a year to a flight crew whose action and quick thinking contributed to saving their aircraft or their passengers. The men were also awarded the Flight Safety Foundation's Professionalism Award. The Foundation's official statement declared that the prize was presented to the crew due to their, quote, extraordinary piloting skills, and flying their aircraft to a safe landing after a missile strike following takeoff from Baghdad, Iraq. 3 years later, Captain Janot toured France with a special presentation depicting his incident titled "Landing an A300 Successfully Without Flight Controls." However, the plane did not fare as well as its crew. In addition to severe wing and undercarriage damage, the engines were ruined for ingesting too much debris. The A300 plane never flew again. In 2004, it was repaired and put up for sale, but never acquired. The aircraft has since been scrapped.